Okay, so a good afternoon to everybody. My name is Adilo Akiemi, and today I want to share about something that is bubbling in my heart and is exciting. It's called the wealth creation process. Now, interestingly, while we've been off our normal training schedules, I've actually been handling a few trainings outside the normal space of our business. I've been doing financial and business intelligence training for a number of people who actually paid handsomely for it. So I've been doing that, it's like a 6 day course that I'm taking them through. And, as I started taking them through, some things jumped out at me as some things I wanted to add for the people in our team. Now, I felt that, this is very good value. And I felt, of course, there's a second course after the course that we did uh, that we will still need to do along the line. But I felt this particular segment is something I need to bring to members of the Green Monday so that you can inculcate this into your business and you can see phenomenal explosions. So I'm going to be sharing on the wealth creation process with you today, and I'm going to be setting you up to have a 90 days challenge or a 60 days challenge to say, you know what, this is what I want to achieve by this date. We're going to drive towards those dates, the things that we want to achieve, leveraging on the process. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen very quickly and then we'll take this conversation on from there. Okay, if you are here and you can see my screen is clear to you, just say I can see. That's all I want to hear. If I see that you can see, then I will progress. I'm sure you can see my face and I'm sure you can see the slides. And I think, that's mostly what we need to be able to see. Good, I can see, I can see, I can see, I can see. Great. So I want to share with you this process. And I'd like you to follow me on this because this is like an addition to the things that we've been learning that when we inculcate into our business will allow us to move far and fast. There's no point teaching us something if it's not going to add value to us. The objective of all of this is that you can get maximum value. So the wealth creation process. Now, this is something that I usually teach about. If you know me, you know that I have like 5 courses on financial and business intelligence. There's the course on psychology of wealth creation, which is what we have all done, introduction. There's a course on introduction to financial and business intelligence, which talks about assets, liabilities, income, expense, which is something we will do in the future as well. For everybody that is serious about their finances, these are areas that you need to cover. And then there's something we do on the process of managing your resources, of how to ensure that the discipline can be developed. And then we'll talk about how to multiply the resource you have as well. These are all courses. Now, the very first part of this is what we dealt with, and I'll show you how this plays out. Now, in your wealth creation journey, there are 9 places you can be. Okay, there are 9 cardinal points that you can be in your wealth creation process. What you need to do per time is ask yourself, where am I today and where do I want to be? And it is by taking deliberate steps to move from where you are today to where you want to be, that is how you are able to make significant things happen for yourself. So you want to ensure that you are doing something today to take you to where you're going. Now, I will describe these 9 positions very quickly. Please follow this, very important. So the first place you can be is a place where you are earning less than you are spending. Okay? If you are earning less than you are spending, you are in financial trouble. It means that there is nothing to look forward to. It means that you are really taking money from your future to service your present. I tell people it's like fetching water with a pail that is heavier than you. The moment you throw the pail into the well and the pail grabs some water, rather than you pulling out the pail will pull you in. If you are earning more than you are spending, it's a dangerous place to be. That is step one. Step two is I am earning at par with my expenses. I really have nothing left behind. I have no extra income. My take home pay doesn't really take me home, but it just basically sufficiently gets me part of the way. If this is your reality, if this is where you find yourself, this is a place where your income equals your expense. It means you're at a tie. Okay, you're basically just surviving and basically managing to keep it up and keep it along. Now that's step two. Step three, where you can be step three, is a place where your income exceeds your expense, but you have nothing kept aside. Your income exceeds your expense, but there is nothing that you are able to keep aside. You are still spending from the thing that is left. What you save is not safe from you. You don't understand the concept of cash flow. You don't know how to channel your cash flow and how to use your cash flow to create real wealth. It means you are now earning more than you're spending, but there's still no difference. Then level 3 is when you come for training, you become conscious of your unconscious incompetence. I tell people everybody starts their journey from unconscious incompetence. From unconscious incompetence, we move to conscious incompetence. From conscious incompetence, we move to conscious competence. And from conscious competence, we move to unconscious competence. It's a journey of how we grow from not knowing we have a problem to knowing we have a problem, to solving the problem, to a point where we solve the problem without even knowing that the problem exists anymore. So I minus E equals C is a place where your income is greater than your expense, and you are now beginning to put what is available, cash flow, away into savings. The moment you begin the savings process and you are consistently doing it for a while, you have shown a habit, a force of habit, then you are at step 4, I minus E equals C. Then step 5 is a place where for the last 3 years to 5 years, you have regularly on a monthly basis saved, okay? And what you have saved is in an escrow account and it is safe from you. It means you are developing and building a culture of ensuring that you have the capacity to create assets. You are working towards creating assets. You are building momentum and building the reserves to a place where you can acquire assets. That's step 5. Step 6 is where you now have assets that you have bought, and these assets are assets, not just cash assets, but assets that have the capacity to generate passive income. So the minute you have an asset that is classified as something that is able to bring in value, you have an asset. Now that asset begins to generate passive income, but your passive income is not enough to take care of your expenses. It means you still need to work to take care of your expenses. You are at level 7. You have passive income, but it's less than your living expenses. At level 8, your passive income exceeds your living expense. It means at this point, you are earning a lot more from your assets than you need to spend on a monthly basis. All the spendings you do on a monthly basis are very well taken care of by your passive income. You are in step 8. And then when your passive income is 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times your expenses, you are at level 9. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in this place today, I would like you to be honest with yourself and with me. Type in that window where you are, step 1 to 9. Now, some people may find, but I have an asset, but I have an asset that I got, but I've not really been doing this. I probably think somewhere I'm in step 6, somewhere I'm in step 3. I think I'm in the middle of the places. Just add those two numbers together and divide by 2. We just don't get an idea of where you currently are. So we're here today and you're listening to me. Do you need, where are you and where do you need to get to? Okay. Somebody says, I am in step 4. Someone says, I am in step 1. Okay. Very good. Let's share our steps. Where do you think you are in this journey? Now, I tell people it doesn't matter how bad where you are is. It's important that you are interested in going to, you understand the destination you want to get to, and you're willing to pay the price to get there. Okay, I understand where I am and I need to be willing to pay the price to get there. Good. So it's when we're able to define and declare the step that I want to go to correctly. That's when we know the step we're going to. Someone says I'm in step 5. Okay, good. So she finds herself somewhere between 4 and 6. That's step 5. Someone says I'm in step 6. I have a few assets, but I'm not yet generating enough passive income, to even make any sense. Someone says I'm in step 2. I'm in step 3, heading to 9. Beautiful. So you need to have clarity about exactly where you are. Okay, it's important that you have clarity about exactly where you are, and then you are making those steps. I'm seeing some people in this class, they are too shy to share exactly their location. Share your location. What step are you in today? Because if you're going to make monumental steps, if you're going to make important steps towards where you're going, it will be because you know where you are currently today. So let's share generously. Where are you today? On this chart, are you in 1, 2, 3? Are you in 4, 5, 6? Or are you in 7, 8, 9? What step are you today? Okay, somebody says I'm in step 2. It's important, ladies and gentlemen, to be very clear about our current location, because I tell people what you ask for is dependent on where you are. If I go outside my office and I call a taxi and I tell the taxi Brooklyn, the man must laugh at me, because Brooklyn is a legitimate destination in New York, not in Ikeja. It means I'm asking for something that exists, but not from where I'm standing. Before I ask for Brooklyn, I need to first of all take a flight to JFK. It's when I get to JFK and I come out from the airport, that's when I have the, or the F13 to be able to ask a taxi driver to take me to Brooklyn. Okay, that the destination I want to get to is a function of where am I? Where am I currently? What is the current location I find myself? I can now begin to transcend. Now, all of these key elements, for those of us who have been able to identify where we are, and for those of us who haven't been able to identify where we are, okay, so what's step 2, so what's step 7? Okay, so this is what it looks like. So we define a belting system to analyze them as well. And we said, you can be a white belt, yellow belt, orange belt, green belt, blue belt, purple belt, red belt, brown belt, or a black belt, depending on exactly where you are. So if you're in step 1, you still have a belt, okay? Even with your income less than your expense, there's still a belt that belongs to you as well. And everybody has their belts, okay? So you have belts that allow you to know exactly where you are. It's important for us to know where we are so that we can know how to track our journey. Now, pay attention to this. If you're still in class and you're listening, type listening in that chat box, type listening, okay? So that I know that you're here and you are following, because you need to get this next step, okay? I can see listening, good. You need to get this next step and get it loud and clear. Now, depending on where you are, there are 3 things you will need. If you are between step 1 and step 4, what you need is you need psychology. You need to understand how to make money. Okay, if you find yourself between step 1 all the way to step 3, 1 to 3, typically what you need from 1 to 3 is how to make. If your income is not up to, if your income is slightly more than, you need making, you need intelligence to make. And this is where we talk about the psychology of wealth creation. This is where we talk about the science of getting rich. This is where we talk about the laws of financial wealth creation. At this level, we are talking about the belief system, because guess what? No matter how good you are at manage and multiply, if you cannot make, you are stranded. No matter how good you are with the discipline of how to save, the discipline of what to do, the discipline of financial intelligence, if your belief system is whacked, you will not make. You cannot manage what you have not made. You cannot multiply what does not exist. So the very foundational place, which is what we did in the course that we did initially, is how do I make money? How do I increase my income? How do I ensure that I'm creating value? How do I ensure that the effort I'm putting, the things I'm doing is generating meaningful value? How do I ensure this? Is what we talked about when we spend time on the science of getting rich. Is what we did when we talk about the laws of wealth creation. Is what we talked about is when we redefined our goal from just wanting to accumulate wealth to wanting to become financially free. It's our desire to be free that begins to start that process for make. Okay, make. So the first key process is, how do we make? And then once you have learned how to make, if you are 1, 2, 3, you need to focus on make. Okay, make based on the level you find yourself. Now, if you are between 4 and 5 and 6, between 4 and 6, the skill set you need to learn is how to manage. How to manage. This talks about discipline. This talks about systems. Setting systems around your life, around yourself, having an escrow account, having an accountability process, having a system around yourself to ensure that by clockwork, you are doing automated savings, you are an automatic millionaire. You are deliberately making sure that when you are creating value, there's a formula in your head of the processes you need to follow to ensure that the making you are making, you are managing it. Because guess what? When you master management, it also increases your capacity to make. That's why one of the laws of wealth creation is the law of management. That says that somebody who is able to manage little will have more, and the level at which you're able to handle the ones you have allows you to be able to create more. So once you begin the making process and the income begins to build and show, you now need to begin to learn the discipline and the systems for managing. You need to learn, how do I manage this resource? How do I ensure that what I save is safe from me? How do I ensure that my surplus, my cash flow is being converted into assets? How do I ensure that I'm able to identify the right kind of assets? How do I do my network marketing business as an asset? How do I create value for what I'm building? How do I ensure I don't dissipate before I accumulate? How do I ensure that I can grow before I blow? How do I ensure that I can maintain the value of what I have and increase the value of what I have? That's management. So I need to learn. If I'm in 4 to 6, I must learn to manage. And then, for example, if I'm in 7 to 9, I need to learn how to multiply. And this is where intelligence comes in, to know, okay, this is where I can play in real estate. This is what I need to do with paper investments. If I want to make my business automated, this is what I can do. If I'm creating royalty, this is what I can do. If I'm building my network marketing business, this is how I build beyond just selling and retailing. How do I build with the power of 4 and ensure that my asset class that I'm driving has the potentials to multiply? Make, manage, multiply. Make, manage, multiply. Now, based on the level you find that you are in, which one do you think should be your greatest priority today? Which one do you think should be your greatest priority? Okay. Is it to make? Is it to manage? Is it to multiply? Is it to make? Is it to manage? Is it to multiply? Okay. Someone says make. Okay, good. Someone says mine is to manage. Okay. You need to be able to identify where you are so that you understand what exactly your next step to be. Now, of course, the person who is managing also recognizes that management is also a way to ensure that making can be structured. So managing means I am positioning myself and structuring myself to ensure that what I'm making, okay, can easily transcend to the next level where it really begins to multiply. So we find ourselves in make, manage, and then multiply. Now, listen, let me tell you this. The person who has multiples of millions that come on a monthly basis is not really more intelligent than you. It doesn't have 2 heads. She doesn't have 5 legs. They are really using the same thing that you are using. It's only that if you have followed principles consistently for a while and you are able to manage, to make and manage regularly, you will find that what you are doing will scale. And then it won't make any sense. Okay, because the way it will scale with leverage. It will scale with other people's involvement that you wonder, look at the small thing I've built, look at how it has become. And I'll give you a classical story. Recently, one of the news making the rounds in Nigeria is a story of 2 young guys who left school in 2006 and have been able to get their businesses bought off by Stripe for $200 million. Now, tell me, how in the last 13, 14 years have they been able, last 10 years, have they been able to bring $200 million together? No way. They've just been doing the business they've been doing. They've had people finance that business because they showed that they could make money, they had value, they showed that they could manage it. Okay, they put systems in place, had some disciplines, some fiscal disciplines in place. And guess what? Somebody saw that opportunity and said, you know what, we want to do something in Africa. We're looking for somebody who's already managing it well. Boom. Let's help you multiply $200 million. In case you don't know what that means in Naira, just multiply by roughly 500 and you get a rough idea that that's about 100 billion. That's making them bigger than First Bank, making them bigger than UBA, making them bigger than a lot of banks almost instantaneously for something that they built 10 years ago without the plan of ever competing directly in the banking space. You need to learn to make, you need to learn to manage, and then you will need to learn. Once you learn to make and manage, you will naturally get to the space where with a little intelligence, you will know how to multiply. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's good we have an idea of where we are. Now, there's something I would like to arm us with, which we will use for the next 60 days. And I think we can do this for 60 days, or we can do this for 90 days. Let's give it 90 days so that we have 90 days. We have 3 strong months to push. That means the cutoff date for this today is the 27th. It means by the 27th of February this year, which happens to be a leap year. So by the end of February, we will have clocked our 90 days. So let's say give or take, some people spend 1-2 days gathering themselves together. Let's have a 90 days challenge. Now, in this 90 days challenge, we're going to blend 2 key thoughts together. And these are the tasks I would like us to do. and you will show me a sample of this task here in this class before we close the class. 6 tasks. Okay. Task number 1, you need to define exactly how much will you like to make in 90 days by the end of February 2021. Okay. How much will you like to have made, and how much will you like to be making on a weekly basis? Okay. So let me give, let's have samples. Let's have samples. How much will you like to have made, and how much will you like to be making at that time on a weekly basis? So I would like to have made this exact amount of money, and I would like to be making this kind of money on a weekly basis. Is there somebody who is bold enough to type what they would like their reality to be in this place? Anybody who is bold enough to share, just share. I like to take 2 people as samples, and then we can use your sample to teach everybody else what to do exactly. By the end of February 2021, between now and then, this is the exact amount of money that I'm intending to make. The starting point of every progress is desire. If desire does not exist, nothing will happen. So I'd like you to consult your desire, consult your dreams. And we're using it as a template to showcase that this works. But I want to first of all do this by setting a 90-day goal and say, you know what, everything I've learned about in Science of Getting Rich, everything I've learned about in wealth creation, I want to put it to task. Okay, I want by the next 3 months, I want to be able to earn this amount. Okay, good. So James Oshua is giving us a number. He's saying, I want to have earned 5 million by the end of February next year, and I want to be earning 250,000 naira on a weekly basis. Okay, thank you very much for that illustration. Okay, Mr. Fumiano says, I want to do 10 million and I want to do 500,000 naira weekly by the end of February. Now, these are desires, and I like these 2 desires. So, exact amounts, the one that you want to have made and the one that you want to have happen on a weekly basis. Very good. The next one is intention to give. Now, in order to get value, you must give value. In order to get value, you must give value. Okay, and I will tell you, so what value are you going to give in order to get this value that you want to create? So are you giving a service? Are you giving, what exactly is your business line? What exactly is it that you are driving? What exactly is it that you're selling? What exactly are you doing in return for this money? What will you be doing? What is the activity you'll be doing? Okay. So you need to also write in that statement and say, in exchange for this money, I will supply, I will build a network. So there are 2 things you are doing if you're a distributor of Green Monday. You are building a network, you're building a team. Another way you can make money is you're selling the products. So those are the 2 key ways you're making money. You're building a team, and in building a team, you are sponsoring new people, you are training the people you have sponsored, and then you are selling the products. You are retailing the products, some of the products as well. So these are 3 key things you do. So in exchange for this money you want to create, you are going to be able to build a team of new people. You're going to be able to train the old existing members of your team to achieve more. And you're going to be able to take the things you have to sell them in exchange for this value that you want to give. So this example amount I want to make, and this is what I want to make regularly. This is the value I intend to give in exchange. This is the value I intend to give in exchange for the value that I intend to add. So I like you to, in your own words, I like you to capture this in your own words and write down, this is the value. So by the next 3 months, I would like to make 5 million with 50K monthly. That's the goal. Good. But that goal is not enough. That goal, so by the time you begin to look at what you intend to give, it may begin to, look at your dates and ask yourself, okay, am I going to be able to give this value? Remember, we want to give people more use value than the cash value we get from them. So I want to make this amount in cash value. I want to give this in value. I want to give health to those who are sick. I want to give hope to those who have nothing that they want to do as business. I'm going to give the best and most excellent quality of service to the people that I'm training, to the people that I'm sponsoring. I'm going to help them in the best ways I can. This is my intention to give. So capture your intention to give, document it as well. Now, all of us have a date. So our definite date is February 29th, 2020. No, sorry, February 28th, 2020. It's not a leap year. It's this year that's a leap year. Next year is not a leap year. So next year ends at 28. So by the 28th of February, 2021, I want to have earned this value. I'll be earning this weekly. My intention to give in exchange for this value, I will be rendering my services. And these are my services with utmost quality, utmost excellence. I will follow up in detail. I will drive to the highest level of excellence. This is my intention to give. Okay. And then you need a definite plan and says, this is the plan. I will be working, with this. I will be doing my daily mode of operation. I will be following a process on a regular basis, day by day. I'll be measuring my progress. I'll be doing X, Y, Z to make this happen day in, day out. So a definite plan. You need to capture that in your submission as well. Now, all of these thoughts, you're going to write them out into a declaration. Okay, you're going to write them out into a declaration, and this declaration you must read to yourself twice every day for the next 90 days. Okay, to make phenomenal income like we want to make is not a walk in the park. It is possible. What will make it possible is that you have put your mind to say, this is what I want to do. And then twice a day, in the morning and the evening, you remind yourself of what your declaration is. I'm going to give you 2 declarations that you can use. You can pick any one of them and modify for your use. So look at this first one. This first one is by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And this was the goal he set for himself. And he said, by the first day of February. So for us right now, let's begin to modify to what we are looking for. We're looking at February 2021, and we're looking at the last day. Okay, we're saying that by the last day of February 2021, I will have in my possession $50,000. Yours is not that, yours is not that wild. So many of us are playing around 1,000 less. Let's say $10,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the time between now and then. Okay, so my first affirmation will be by the last day of February 2021, I will have in my possession $10,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during this period. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service in the capacity of a networker and a distributor of Green Mondays. So that's my next affirmation. I will, in return, so this is my intention to give. And then this is my plan. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render in return for it. I am waiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Okay, to say I will be looking out in the trainings I'm attending, in the meetings I'm going, I will be looking out for the plan that will make me able to achieve this. I will be looking out for the plan. I'll be following the plan that makes it possible for me to achieve this set goal. Okay. Now, I'd like to ask you a question. Is this clear enough to you? Is this modifiable for you? Is this clear enough to you? If it's clear enough to say, yes, it's clear, yes, it's modifiable. So I'd like you to take this. I'm going to grab this and copy it and give you so that you can modify and return to sender. Okay, I'll give this to you so that you can modify and return to sender. So this is it. By the last day of February 2021, please use whatever your own faith can carry, whatever it is that you can carry. And some of us have other businesses we are doing beyond Green Mondays. Feel free to add them to the sources that your money will come to you as well. Okay, by the last day of February 2021, this will be my reality. I will have in my possession $10,000, $5,000. You can put it in Naira, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during this period. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service in the capacity of a networker and a distributor of Grey Mondays. I believe that I will have this money back in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at the time. And in the proportion that I deliver the service, I intend to render in return for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow the plan when it is received. Okay. Yes, it's clear. Yes, it's clear. Good. So as somebody has already done this, Akemi Falakemi says by the last day of February 2021, I will have in my possession $10,000. Okay, I don't think it's a motivation yet. This is just this as it is. You need to modify it based on the things you understand. Now let me give you a version, another version. Okay, a more affirmative, action active version. So it's a renewed version. You may like this one as well. It says, I am now earning. So this is already taking the position of the future. Today, let me help you a little bit. Today is the 28th of February, 2021. I am now earning $10,000 per month, or I'm now earning 250,000 naira per month, which is coming to me daily in ever increasing amounts. So this one is saying it's not about the lump sum, even the aggregated. It's now the end of the month. This is what my weekly income has now become. I'm now entering this amount, so you can put the number amount that's coming into my account in ever increasing amount. In return for this money, I am giving what I will give. So this is in present tense. I am giving the most efficient service of which I am capable. I'm rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service, sponsoring, training, and in distribution of my products. I believe that I now have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong, I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now being transferred to me in the proportion that I deliver the services I intend to render in return for it. I am now creating plans by which to accumulate this money, and I'm following those plans immediately as they are received. I am now creating plans to accumulate this money, and I'm following those plans immediately as they are received. Now, this is a more exciting version because it's in the present tense, and if it's something you're affirming daily in the morning and in the evening, as you progress with your business, it requires you to actually be on the lookout for the plans that you're going to implement to ensure you can bring people on your team. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing that is impossible with a mind that can see. Remember what we read, remember what we went through. There's a thinking stuff that it fills the interspace of the universe. It is the stuff on which everything that is made is made. Every thought impressed upon this substance creates the equivalent of that thought in physical format. Human being is the thinking center. We have the capability to imprint with our thoughts upon this formless substance and have the things that we have created coming towards us. Gratitude is the way by which we align with the source of all things. And gratitude is a demonstration of faith in our belief that what we intend to have is already ours. And as we begin to operate with that mindset and become a person of increase, always giving people more use value than the cash value we receive of them, we find that the things that we have already received in our minds and our reality becomes ours to receive in their physical equivalent. And by adding more value to others and by going forward this way, I can begin to think in a certain way, walk in a certain way to make the things that I intend to have, that I have in my information, I can bring them into my reality. Okay. I don't know if you listened to me, but I just reeled out the key concepts of the science of getting rich for you as mine, in my own language, in a way that I've come to own them. So ladies and gentlemen, you want to create phenomenal things over the next 90 days. We need as many people as possible plugged into this realization and I'm willing to do what it takes. So today, as I bring this class to a close, I would like to receive from 3 to 4 students their own affirmations. So take what you have, what I've given you here, copy, edit, modify to the number that you want. You can add both concepts together to say, today is 28 February 2021. I have 5 million naira, that I've earned from this business in the last 3 months. I now weekly earn 500,000 naira on a weekly basis, and it is coming to me daily in ever increasing amounts. In return for this money, I am given the most efficient service of which I'm capable. I'm rendering the highest possible quantity. I'm giving the best possible quality of service. I'm sponsoring, I'm training, I'm distributing, I'm following up on my clients to see how they're doing, and I'm expanding my reach and my tentacles. Everything I've pushed here is abbreviated. You can build on it. You can add flesh to it. You can add more value to it. This is what I'm doing in return. So you can pay attention to what are the values I'm adding. What are the things I do to people that make them want to do more? How do I get VIPs in my team? How do I get them upgrading? How do I get them coming in at the highest possible value? What is the service I need to render? What exactly is what I need to do? So I'm doing it. I believe I now have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong, I can see it. Okay, it's like it's my bank account, it may not be in my hand, but I can almost touch it in my hands. Okay, I can see with my eyes, I can touch it with my hands. It is now being transferred to me in the proportion that I deliver the services I intend to render in return for it. I'm now creating plans by which to accumulate this money, and I'm following those plans immediately as they are received. I'm not wasting time, I'm not waiting. As soon as I'm receiving the plans of what to do, my daily management, my daily mode of operation, my daily to-do lists, the key objectives I want to achieve, I am putting them in place and I'm running with them to achieve them. This is my daily reality. Because somebody has done this, so I'm going to read there so that we can have an idea of how this can look like or feel like as well. Okay, I'm going to read what they've written. Let me remove the screen so that you can see me fully. Okay, good. Somebody says, today is the 28th of February 2021. This is Felicia Olubusala. Okay, I am now earning 1 million per month, which is coming to me daily in ever increasing amounts. In return for this money, I'm given the most efficient service of which I'm capable. I'm rendering the fullest possible quality and quantity best possible of service. Now, sponsoring, training, and distributorship, these are abbreviations. You need to spell them out. You need to spell them out and own them. Okay, I am sponsoring new high quality, high caliber distributors who are on fire from day one. I am training my team members and they are learning and building and growing to be the best version of themselves. They are all upgrading and getting to the highest levels. I am distributing the products. I am giving my customers high quality service. They are, I'm checking up on them. I'm seeing how they're doing. I'm upgrading customers to distributors, taking distributors to higher levels. I am driving and pushing and, so you need to qualify them so that it doesn't just look like sponsorship training. I just put that there so that I can understand how it will flow within our own business. I said, I believe that now I have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong. I can see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now being transferred to me in the proportion that I deliver the services I intend to render in return for it. I'm creating plans by which to accumulate this money, and I'm following those plans immediately as I receive them. Okay, so it's not bad, just need to add some more flesh to it. There's already plan you have. I have plans. There's some plans you have, there's some plans you will receive. So you can blend them together and add all of that value to it as well. Okay, says today is 28th of February 2021. I'm now earning 1 million per month, which is coming to me daily in ever increasing amount. Okay, I think we've done the same thing. You want to add some more color to it as well. Add flesh to it. Let it be your plan. Let it be your affirmation. And guess what? You want, it's clear? Very good. Is it clear to somebody else? You want to make this your morning and evening affirmation for the next 90 days. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everything you affirm you want to achieve, you will achieve. Everything. If your faith is strong enough, if you can believe, don't say something that will make you like, I don't really, no. Make sure you look around, like the man that we read in the book who did a survey of his house and said, I don't have this, I want this, I want this. And then he set for the things he felt he could do. Okay. So in the same way, you want to ensure that set something that is more than what you would do by your normal strength. Set a goal that will inspire you, that will push you and drive you, and then commit to it on a daily basis. There's some days that will feel fantastic. There's some days that may not feel like that. Commit to it. And as you confess and you affirm those thoughts, the plans will come. Okay. As you have the sense of being a man of increase or a woman of increase, who is ensuring that per time they are adding more value to people, in value than the cash that you collect from them. As you continue to be a person of increase, you maintain the attitude of gratitude. You don't lose ground by complaining about government. You don't lose ground by lamenting about how the situation of things are. You don't lose ground by complaining and lamenting about how bad this month has been. Maintain your ground. Keep your focus ahead of you. Write down your affirmation very clearly and repeat it twice every day for the next 90 days. And then push the highest quality of service as you have committed to. Okay. Remember, if you do this correctly, this 6 tasks, you will, without fail, get to your desired destination. Without fail, you will move from where you are and get to where you want to be without fail. I'm going to ask you a question. I have a few people actively saying something, not saying something. I'd like to ask you a question and I want to see your answer. Are you committing to doing this for the next 90 days? Are you making a commitment to yourself? I will document these affirmations. I will repeat it twice a day, every day for the next 90 days. I will give the highest quality of service that is required in exchange for the value I want to earn. I am committing to this process. Type in that window and say, I am committing to this process. Okay, Mrs. Faces, by God's grace. So yes, by God's grace. God's grace is our reason for doing, is our excuse for not doing. Okay, I am committing to this process. I'd like you to commit to the process. I have 3 people that have committed to the process. I have one person that I'm committed to the process. I'm saying I am. What is it? By God's grace. Anybody else? Good. I am committing to this process. Ladies and gentlemen, I did, and I'll share this with you again. I did this process for the first time in my own life 12 years ago. 12 years ago. In those 12 years, I was young. I wasn't as bright. You know, for those who know my age, at that time, I wasn't even, at the time when I was doing this, I had just clocked, you know, I just clocked 30. Yeah, roughly around this time. So, and, you know, I didn't have so much to set as a goal. I just said, look, this was exciting. This information I have looks exciting. What can I do with it? So I called a few people in my office together and I said, I want to get a car. I want to use this thing to get a car. What kind of car should I get? And someone said, go for Range Rover. I said, okay, Range Rover. At this time, I was driving a Toyota Yaris. Said, Range Rover. I said, okay, Range Rover. Okay, let's go for Range Rover. And I went to check Range Rover. I looked at, from the top of my building, I looked down, I saw one. I said, that's a Range Rover. It's red in color. Maybe you should go for that one. I said, yes, you can go for that one. I took a picture of it. I put it up somewhere to create a picture of what I wanted to have in 40 days. And I said, the same thing I'm doing here today. By so and so time, I will have XYZ. This is my information. It is coming to me. It's already mine. I'm seeing it. The plan will unveil. It's going to happen 40 days. And ladies and gentlemen, in less than 40 days, I got me that Range Rover. And the way I got it is an amazing idea, is an amazing plan. It's a plan that didn't cost me any money upfront. It was a plan that took like a few years to pay for, but it was never in my horizon. I needed to make a deposit of about 3 million to start the process. I got it from someone. I got it paid back immediately by the bank. It was a sweet process. Maybe I will describe it to you in detail in the days to come. But ladies and gentlemen, what am I saying? I'm saying if you commit yourself to this process wholeheartedly and you take upon yourself the plans that become revealed to you as you receive them, and you walk steadfastly from this point, you will achieve the object of your desire. Because if the only way it will not come into your reality is if it doesn't exist in your desire. Your desire is the aroma of the food already cooked. Your desire is possibility-seeking expression. Your desire is power-seeking function. Your desire is what is already done, looking for a way to manifest itself in your own life. And the mere fact that the desire exists means that it is possible for you. So if you have a desire for 500,000 naira, and somebody has a desire for 1 million, and the person has a desire for 5 million, it doesn't make you beef anybody's desire. It's your desire. So go after your desire, set it as a goal, commit to it. And ladies and gentlemen, many people are lazy because they have no vision. I tell people, for lack of vision, people cast off restraint. The reason why people are not driven is because there is no vision. If there's a clear vision of the future you want to create, you will spend the energy required to get there. Every prize has a price. Every goal has a cost. every dream has a cost. If you are willing to get the dream, you are willing to pay the cost. And ladies and gentlemen, if that is you this morning, if that is you this afternoon, then you want to set a very clear picture. Reinforce it daily. Take the plan as it becomes real to you, and let's see what's possible. Okay, so I have a few people coming into the process. Okay, I'm going to, we're going to circulate this video, try and make sure that as many people as possible get a hang of this. This is like a top up on your introduction to wealth creation. This is understanding the process, understanding where you are, and understanding what you need to do over the next 90 days to prove this concept. Now, when we're proving this concept in 90 days, is that the end? Of course not. That's just the beginning. After 90 days, you're earning $1 million, you're earning $5 million, you're earning 10 million, any whatever it is you have set as your goal. Then we can set another 1 year. And guess what? We can do amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Okay? And somebody's thanking me. You can put in your list one of the things you intend to give. You might intend to give me something. And say, what, when I make this 1 million, I'm just going to give CM 50K. Don't mind me, just being interested. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it in a nutshell. Sorry for the impromptu nature of this meeting, but this will be useful. It will add value. Make the most of this. And in 90 days, we're going to come back and share testimonies of how we've made progress. We're going to be checking from time to time to see how we're doing and how it's lining up. So you need to keep a record. If you're going to prove something, you're going to keep record. Okay? If you're going to achieve wonderful results, you need to keep records. You need to keep the records. Okay? You need to keep records. And I'd like us to do something today before we close this meeting. I'd like us to not just write that I commit and commit and commit. I'd like us to, do something interesting so that for the records as well. So I'm going to, if you are on your phone, if you are on your laptop, try and do gallery view. So do gallery view. Everybody do gallery view. Let your camera show your face. Show your face. Let's show our face. Show your face. Show your face. Show your face. Somebody's really got.
Say we show.
What does it say? Give commitment. Show your face. Show your face. After the count of 2, what you want to do is you can unmute as well and say, I commit to the process. 1, 2.
I commit to this.
I commit to this process. After the count of 2. I commit to this process.
Commit to do the process.
I commit to this process.
I will write down my affirmation. I will read it myself twice.
Commit to this process.
And I will follow the plan.
Write down my affirmation, and I will read it to myself.
Write down my affirmations, and I will stick it and 2 times daily, morning and evening. And I will do
the affirmation twice a day.
I will
morning and evening.
meet this process.
I like you to celebrate yourself like you will. It has been delivered by
the proportion that I deliver.
Yes, I'm so excited because I know it's got to pass.
It is already my reality.
I celebrate myself.
Demonstrate the gratitude we will have. If by that day it is done.
It's already my reality.
Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm capable of